welcome to this debate. Today's motion is this House believes that kids can make a big difference to the environment. The first speaker for the proposition team is Teddy.
Hello, my name is Teddy and today I'm going to talk to you about the environment and how children can make a difference to it. Temperatures are increasing around the world and it is argued that this is because of CO2 emissions being released into the atmosphere. Cars are one of the main contributors to CO2 emissions, with over half the pollution coming from vehicles. Although children do not drive cars, they are driven around by their friends to school, parties, clubs, etc. And I argue that children can make a big difference to the environment by walking or riding their bikes to school. At my school, children are encouraged to walk and ride their bikes. Next, I will argue that there are many things children can do to make small steps to help make a difference to the environment. These include taking showers instead of baths, putting on warm clothes rather than turning up the heating, turning lights off when leaving a room, playing on computer less.
On a point of information,
Accept.
How about if the house, if you're gonna leave the lights on, what if the house had solar power?
Well, still turn it off. Okay. Avoid wasting food. Play on computer less. At Shagwell, we grow our own food, put rubbish in bins, and have our own recycling bin in each class. Thank you.
The first speaker for the proposition team is Ahmed.
Hello, my name is Armand and I'm going to talk to you about my 3 points today. Today I'll talk to you about children are too young, children don't want to change their habits, and children are too busy. My first point is we have to be old enough to understand the environment and it's too much responsibility. We are too young to have to think about such big things and are too young to worry. We shouldn't be stressed. My second point is children don't want to change their habits. We love technology. Over the time, more and more electronics are being made. We love our iPods, game consoles, computers, mobile phones, and many more devices. We are using them more and more and do not want to change our habits. Also, we are able to talk to our friends online using Skype, MSN, Facebook, etc. And every day this is becoming more popular. My third and final point is we are so busy, even homework is online. We use computer sites such as maths and educational sites. We search for homework and shouldn't be thinking of such a big things. After all, we're just children. A time which should be worry-free. Children should have time to worry like that. And this should be enough to worry about. Vote for us.
The second speaker for the proposition team, Luella.
Hello, I'm Rowena and I'm here to tell you how children can make a big difference to the environment. They say that children are too busy and like using things like MSN to contact people. But talking to people directly is better for you anyway. And we don't need those type of things unless it's across country, which it often isn't. And We aren't too busy. We can find time, and many people do. Just because we're children doesn't mean we can't
On a point of
take
information,
power. Accept.
What if you're using if the person you wanted to speak to didn't live near you or was living far away, how would you contact them? You would have to pay a lot of money to get to the place where they are.
You don't always have to not use it. You can use it sometimes, but people are overusing it when they could just see people directly. And we're not too busy because just because we're small doesn't mean we can take power. If we learn what to do now, then when we're older and we're adults, we will be more responsible and environmentally friendly. We know adults are responsible for pollution, but when we are adults, if we can get the word around quick enough, we will be more environmentally friendly. Walking to school or taking buses is better than cars because walking makes no pollution, nor does cycling, and buses use the same amount of pollution as cars to carry more people. Although other things cause pollution, for example planes, it's easier to change small day-to-day things in our lives first, working up to the bigger ones. A recent example of trying to stop pollution was when people were asked to turn a light in their house off for an hour. Millions of people did this, and the amount of pollution decreased partially. Children can have and will make a big change to the environment.
I'd like to introduce the second speaker for the opposition team, Leanne.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Leanne, and my 3 points are: we have to do what our parents say, children like fast food, and we love TV 24/7. My first point is you have to do what our parents say. What if you were a child and your parents kept driving cars for short journeys and you said to your parents, "Can't we walk?" But your parents say, "You're going to be late." Accepted.
We can cycle and just persuade them. There is many ways to do it, and they will understand if we tell them the right way. We can't just say, "Can we walk?" We will have to say, "This is just wasting fuel. Why don't we cycle? It's still quite fast and won't make pollution." Anyway, if it's a short journey, you might not be late. You just have to fight back. It's not going to hurt.
What if your mum doesn't let you and you have to drive the car because otherwise you've got lots of, say your mum has lots of children and it's not easy for her to walk with all these children?
Well then,
back to my point. Also, as children, we can't choose what to buy in shops. For example, you said to your mum, "Why don't we buy this meat from Britain because it has less pollution of travelling?" But your mum says, "No, it's too expensive. It's cheaper to buy this meat from New Zealand." My second point is children like fast food. Many children love fast food. They can buy it with their pocket money after school. And they don't think about where it comes from or how it gets here. Also, children like to buy cans of drinks and they don't think about rubbish and packaging that could be thrown around later on in the day. My third point is we love TV 24/7. Tons of children love telly and would be very furious if it was less available. Also, most children don't think about how much electricity is wasted because of how much TV they watch. Many children watch so much TV for so many hours a day. If they miss their program, they can watch it on catch-up TV or BBC iPlayer. That is wasting even more electricity.
Now it's time for floor speeches. If any member of the audience would like to make a speech, raise your hand.
One day children will be adults, and so if we learn now, we will be able to teach other generations when we're older. And if we have children and so on, they can tell their children when they're adults as well.
I think children can can change the environment because there are so many possible ways to help. You could do even if there was lots of people all around the world, all the children around the world, if they helped a tiny bit, it would really start to help the environment. Children don't always have the possibility to walk or ride to anywhere, so they have to take different transport. And well, it would be kind of nice if children would also be able to take a car or a bus instead of walking, because maybe some of them, because people might be tired.
Well, children are only children, so they're not as they don't have as much power to make the decision as the adults do. So they can't really make the decision.
I'd like to introduce the opposition side summariser, Anna.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the summariser, and I'm going to summarise the points that Leanne, the speaker 2, and Ahmed, the speaker 1, said. Ahmed's first point was children are too young to understand any of recycling rules. Of course, children are too young. Maybe even if they don't want to, it's hard for them to know where to put, for example, plastic or metal or any paper. And even maybe they don't want to do it, it's too hard for them. His second point was children don't want to change their habits. For example, if they stop using their iPods or if they stop watching the television, they can still be very lazy. His third point was children are busy. Children are busy doing their homework or sitting on their computers on the internet, or even going on maths whiz or learning platform or anything like this. And of course, adults can do recycling for them if they don't want to. Leanne's first point was children do what the parents say. Adults buy cheaper food, maybe some cheaper clothes and etc. Her second point was children love fast food, but if they buy, they don't take any notice of where it comes from or how is it made. And now all this rubbish is thrown everywhere. They don't really care about it. And the third point was children love TV 24/7. Children don't know what their carbon footprint is, that their carbon footprint is very huge. They usually say that they don't care. They don't think about the money wasted, and they will be angry if the TV was less available. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce the proposition summary speaker, Yasin.
Hello, my name is Yasin and I'm the summariser of this team. Our first speaker, Teddy, has said that the biggest challenge to the environment is cars and that we can make a difference by walking to school. We have also argued there are many little things that we can do to change the environment, such as taking showers instead of baths and turning off lights when not needed. The opposition has argued that we're too young to worry about these stuff, that we're too busy as well. But when you have spare time, you could do all of these stuff. But we disagree. But when you have finished your homework and stuff, you can have time to do all of this. Our second speaker has argued that although we are just children, there are 40 million of us in the UK, and if we all work together, we can make a big difference. Also, adults are responsible for most of the pollution. When we are adults, we can take care of the environment. The opposition has argued that children love fast food, which I do, but if you're more patient, then it might save some energy. I don't know how, but it might. I think we have argued now that children can make a difference to their environment.
Now, can the audience now have a vote on who you think was done? If you agree that the children can make a difference to the environment, please raise your hand. Six. All votes against. 3. And any undecided? 2. Thank you for coming to this debate.